Just the two of us. We can make it if
What is up, everybody? It is I, Alex the Boogeyman here, Title Boxing Club Pittsburgh, with your focus point. And this week, it's time for another edition of Great Pairings.
great pairings. Ooh.
Yes, great pairings. Two punches that pair particularly well together. We'll work on that pairing and we'll also better understand the why. Why is it a great pairing? Why does this work? Why do we do what we do? And this edition of Great Pairing is going to be an offshoot of what is really the most fundamental combination in all boxing, which is the jab cross, except it's going to be the jab to the face and the cross down to the body. The body, of course, being the midsection. So jab high, cross low, high, low. Now, let's talk about 5 benefits of throwing the jab to the face, cross the body, as well as 5 of the common mistakes that we see. So, all right, so here are the top 5 benefits of the jab body cross. Number 1, it's easy to land. So as I just mentioned, the most fundamental combination is a jab and a cross to the face. People expect it. Even though expected, it still works. People defend it. So if I throw my jab, they've got to defend their face. Maybe they block with their hands, maybe they slip, and they expect that I'm going to follow it up with a rear hand to the face as well. So I'm using that jab to occupy them as I drop down and throw that cross to the body, which is likely unguarded. A lot of people don't guard that section very much. And better yet, my jab can even kind of blind them a little bit if they're covering up or it's right in their eyes. They may not even see that I'm dropping down and throwing that across the body. If you get hit with a cross the body, you're not expecting it, it will really hurt. If you're not breathing out, good luck with that. Number 2, it sets up the head. So if I throw a jab and then a cross to the body, so I've gone high, low, then they start to bring their hands down and they're playing catch up. So I throw the jab, they drop down, their hands go down just even a little bit, it opens up their head for another punch, like the lead hook, or maybe the lead uppercut. Because I'm in close, I'm already ducked down, I come up with that lead uppercut to the chin. It is a great way just not only to set up the next punch, but also in general to keep your opponent guessing. Once you change levels, as we call it, going high, low, and high, low, low, high, your opponent has to think about defending more of their body and their head, and it makes everything harder for them because now they have to think, I could be hit down here, I could be hit here, I could be hit from the side, right? You're mixing up your attack, makes it very hard to defend. Number 3, you are also ducking down as you throw that body cross. So if you throw the jab and your opponent tries to punch you back with something, maybe they were waiting on that jab to throw the overhand, you're dropping down, going underneath, throwing the cross. So you could potentially avoid their counter punch. Sometimes people also wait on that left hook. So I throw my jab, they throw a left hook, I duck underneath, and I throw that cross. So I'm not only getting some defense, some offense in there, but some defense as well. Number 4, it breaks your opponent's base. And here's what I mean by that. When we're in our fighting stances, right? We're in our fighting stance, we're nice and strong, we can throw punches, we can defend punches. This is called our base. Our base position, our fighting stance, our posture. It's where we're strongest. It's where we're most balanced. So your hips really do control everything. So if I'm able to land that body cross and drive someone's hips backwards, try like lifting something up and then doing it with your hips backward. It's much harder. We need our hips to do everything. And once I get their hips back, I'm limiting their balance and their control, aka breaking their base. It makes them harder to do the next thing. Now, number 5, let's say you don't even care about 1 through 4. You're like, I don't need to know the why, although I promise it will help your workout. Think of it purely from a fitness standpoint. So if I'm going high, low, and dropping down, I'm essentially doing kind of like a lunge, right? Or a squat. So you're working your legs a little more, your hips, your glutes, your legs, all that stuff. And you might as well get some extra work in those legs too. So from a fitness, purely exercise point of view, it is beneficial. And I know that it does work you a little bit harder. And this is going to segue into the next 5, the common mistakes. But it's because when I see people get tired, I see them, they're not able to go down as low. It's because they're tired. And of course you're tired. You want to rest, but that's why you're here. You're here to work harder. You're here to push through. So again, it's a perfect segue into our next top 5, which are the top 5 common mistakes.
common mistakes.
Mistake number 1, I already gave it away. It's not dropping down. Sometimes what people do is they throw a punch down. They can punch down with their right hand or cross hand. Don't do that. That's going to leave you wide open for not a really good benefit. So people not dropping all the way down, throwing that cross to the belly. Even if you're throwing to the solar plexus, let's just make sure we're getting down low. And I know that every single person can do this because in warm-ups, we will do things like lunges and squats. And I see everybody, pretty much everybody can bend their knees. So I know you can do this. You can't say you can't. I know that you can. Drop down. When you're tired especially, drop down. It's good for you, I promise. Number 2 is under rotating. And this is true on a regular cross. People throw a cross and then they just they don't twist all the way through. They don't turn their shoulder. They don't turn their hip. They don't get their rear hip in front of their lead hip. This is even more important on a body cross because I really want to drive through. I really want to break someone's base. I can get a lot of power into that body cross because I'm getting that extra bit of rotation and I'm dropping my weight down into that body cross. So making sure that you're not under rotating, you're over rotating, if anything. Same thing really with the jab. If you start to jab, right, I can load up that power cross. The more I kind of twist into the jab, the more it's going to load up that body cross for power. So make sure we're getting the full twist, full rotation on the straight punches. Number 3 is dropping your hand. And this one is hard to avoid because you know you're going to throw that right hand low after that left hand high, that lead hand high, rear hand low. So what people start to do is they do this. They go boom, 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 boom. Right? It could work. It could be fine, but I don't like leaving myself uncovered. And I also don't like tipping off my opponent. So I want my opponent to think I'm going to follow this jab up with another straight right to the face. But instead, I'm dropping as I throw it. So my hand is not going down at all. It's almost like I'm just throwing a normal cross, but the bottom drops out. I fall through a trap door, as I say. Now this kind of works both ways, and this one is also hard. Let's say I throw a jab, cross to the body, hook. What I'm going to do is leave their hand down here. They got down low, and then they stood up and their hand is here. I don't want to do that. I want to make sure my hand comes back up to my face. As soon as I stand up, my hand goes with me. I stay covered on that side, covered against that lead hook. And then another thing that we see a lot of is leaning forward. And again, this is something we'll see on a regular jab cross. They'll lean with their head, and they'll do it on a jab cross. They'll lean forward, their head is over your feet. You don't need to do that. It can kind of go hand in hand with under rotating. Because if I rotate my hips more, I don't need to lean with my head to make contact with that bag, right? So I can rotate and get as long as I could with that jab. If that jab can reach, so can that cross. I don't need to lean my head forward. And then number 5 is not throwing a cross to the body. So they go with their jab, and then they get in, maybe they're too close, and it's like this bent elbow kind of punches, and they throw like a body hook. Just because most of our punches to the body might be hooks, doesn't mean the cross changes. If I'm throwing a jab cross and a jab cross the body, the cross is exactly the same. As I mentioned earlier, I'm just dropping it down as I throw it. It's not a different punch. Just because it's across the body does not mean the mechanics, the fundamental mechanics of that jab cross to the body change at all. They don't need to change. It's just your legs. It's just dropping down. So there's my top 5 benefits, top 5 common mistakes. Of course, no combo is perfect. Every combo has its flaws. Every move there is a counter move too. But another thing too, I like cross to the body. But when I throw that jab, like let's say I throw the jab, because the best defense to this is just to get away or move to the side. And then if you miss, then you're kind of in a tough position to recover from. But because we start with the jab, I see what they do. If I throw the jab and they start to move back, then I don't throw the cross to the body. So maybe I start with the jab and I'm like, oh, I see they're moving back. No, then I go to plan B. I go to the next step. I don't want to see they're starting to move away and I throw the jab and then throw it across the body, which I know probably isn't going to hit. So I would only do this if I throw the jab and I see them deal with the jab and they're not moving their feet, so I can drop down and throw that cross to the body. Like I said, it's a big move, so it can be, maybe a little bit easier to defend, not so much easier to defend, but if you do miss it, if you don't land it, you're in a more vulnerable position. But that's another thing we can do, we can use to our advantage. So once people know that you like to throw the jab cross to the body, what you can do is you can fake it. So just a little bit of a fake cross to the body can open up other things as well. That is the game. That is this amazing game of chess we play when we box. It's good to think about this no matter what you're boxing for. I promise it will help you. And no matter what, that is how we do
Come and I see the morning sun. I want to be the one with you. Just the